and just whenever you guys are ready.
There was a day that I knew no sorrow, but try again, I look for tomorrow, holding out for things on the borrow, but I'm just here playing just one more show. But you're so sad, you bring down the mood. I can't go on. I can't go on. I can't go on. I can't go on, baby, I miss you, but I can't go on. The days are lonely ever since you left. My brain's on fire 'cause it's hurt so bad. The days are lonely, baby, don't forget. I can't go on. I can't go on. I can't go on. I can't go on.
Not coming back.
Right, we're here with Black Jacket today. Do you guys, because there's not a whole lot of info out there in regards to you guys, which is one of the beautiful things about doing this kind of thing with quite new bands, relatively new bands, is it's a clean slate in terms of information.
Yeah, well,
Give us a bit of a
Small amount.
give us a bit of a rundown of who Black Jacket is.
that's an excellent question. Who is Black Jacket? Well, we're a four-piece. We started together about 3 or 2 years ago, you know. We've had some other people come on in sort of stuff. We spent the first year and a half just practicing. So we just practiced. We didn't do anything live. We're just working on songs, trying to work something out. Eventually, we put ourselves out there and we did a couple of gigs, and that went all right. And but we were very determined. We knew what we wanted to do, and we really want to be successful at it. So we're just getting there now. You know, we're putting in a lot of work in this last year to try and make it so that people do know more about us. You know?
Yeah.
So it's a grind, but we're determined and we're really excited.
And it's important to make sure you enjoy the journey of it, because a lot of it can be, like you said, can be kind of grindy. And so making sure that you distribute roles accordingly, because otherwise one person can get proper burnt out.
Well, I'm standing right next to our social media development boss person.
I'll do what I can anyway. My limited knowledge.
Yeah.
So I've seen me managing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Kind of.
Yeah. And it's having people, divvy all that stuff out. It's super important.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got help out there, and we're working on it. We try, and everyone has a little bit of a role,
Yep.
Our basis of a CFO,
Yep.
So
Big brains.
big brains. Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't want me dealing with any money coming in, so he
Just
can
look at
handle
my
that.
account.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, don't look at our accounts, all right. His one might be a little better than ours, so he's in charge of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What was the last sort of like year and things like for you guys? So I know you guys released an EP, but
It was insane. It was a wild ride this year.
It was. We went from not doing a lot to doing heaps, and always having something to do.
Yeah.
It's either a music video, and
Yeah,
then it's
yeah.
like, oh, that went well. Let's do another music video. Let's go record in the studio. Let's go put on some gigs ourselves. Let's go talk to people. Let's try and talk to labels and see what they're doing. So we're just constantly doing something. We're never just going to sit around, and
Yeah.
we're going to keep, like I said, I'm going to use the word again, grinding, because
Yep.
that's what we're doing. But we're starting to see outcomes. Like, hey, look, we're here with you. Thank you very much for having us. So,
yeah.
Something we love. We want to keep it going. I want it to be a career. I'd
Yeah.
love for it to be my career.
Yeah.
So much.
yeah, we're trying to make this so that we can only do this because we love doing this. So you're absolutely right. You gotta make sure that you delegate and you don't make it so you don't enjoy it anymore.
Yeah, don't make it too much of a job,
Don't make it
even
a
though
job.
you want it to be, your career.
Yeah,
Not
you
a
still
job
got-
unless you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you released the EP in August.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was August now. Okay, that wasn't too long ago then. Yes, we released our EP, Take It All.
Yep.
We put 5 songs on there. That was that was a cool experience. We finally kind of cracked it because we did have some music beforehand recorded,
Okay.
but it wasn't to our standard.
Yeah.
So we've gotten rid of that. So that's basically our first EP. We went in the studio with David Tait from Nesian Mystic.
Yeah, nice.
He's helped us out, and he kind of guided us along the process. And we've just recorded a couple more songs on the upcoming EP with him as well. So we've learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
And we're still finding out our sound through it. But it's been great fun being in the studio and seeing what works and what doesn't work and getting a better understanding of how the recording process goes.
Yep.
So, one thing at a time. And this next EP coming up, it's just been so much easier. And we're starting to feel like there's a couple songs that we're going, well, they're pretty good. They're not bad. So, we're hoping that everyone else likes them too.
Yeah.
It's been fun making them. I think it's been the most fun. I think the more we keep going and the better we're getting at it, we
Yeah.
can have more fun because we're not worrying about certain things.
Yeah.
So it's going good. It's
Yeah,
going good.
nice.
So
It's a lot more smoother and easier process than it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
were first
Yeah.
doing our first EP anyway.
we were
You're just pretty much learning as you go doing that.
We didn't know anything. It was actually pretty embarrassing the first time we went in the studio.
Yeah.
We had no idea what he was talking about and what we were supposed to do, but we went back into the studio. Then we went back in the studio again, and eventually you go, I know how this works.
Yep.
And then you go, I can have some fun in here.
Yeah.
I did not have fun the first time in the studio. I was too nervous. I was too worried.
Yeah.
But then when I finally kind of went, I know how this works. I go, I'm gonna have some fun.
Then
now.
you loosen up a bit, eh?
Absolutely. I think that's exactly it. Loosening
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Not so
And-
stressed and tight.
Understanding the environment is there to be creative. It's not necessarily there to just put down precisely what you've been practicing. You
Yeah.
can kind of ebb and flow and mess with stuff.
That's exactly what we did at the beginning. We just rehearsed it, and then we did that, and we didn't realize you actually got a lot of freedom in the studio as
Yeah.
well. So we realize that now,
Yeah.
and hopefully you can hear that on the next EP.
Yeah.
Because what was that? So, because how did you guys track that EP, the first one? Did you track it all like playing together, or did you record individual instruments and then piece it together after?
So we recorded the first time all together. Make sure we got the tempo right for Geo. So she's got a little something to listen to. Then it's drums, it's bass, it's guitar, it's vocals, and then anything else.
Okay.
So we do it that way because we love the live sound, and we've done it sometimes. And the first EP that you guys will never hear because it wasn't very good.
Yeah. I saw an Instagram post talking about like the next EP, but that was just before Take It All came out, and I was like, there's probably a story there.
Yes, it was on Spotify, and I actually wanted to keep it on there. I wanted to show people like where we started and where we're going, but I was outvoted.
That'll be the fun thing you can do when we're bigger.
That's it. We'll release it later, and it'll be like a bootleg copy edition, you know?
But then there's some things that are better left unheard.
There was some good songs on there, but they might have not been executed very well.
Yeah. And so that's the thing that you could revisit.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, those songs aren't going anywhere. I love those songs. We had such a good time. Such a good time recording them.
Yeah.
Even though that it was tough and difficult, it was where we came from.
Yep.
You know, and that was a few years ago now. So it feels like a lifetime ago, but it actually wasn't very long.
Yeah. And lots changed in that time.
Yes.
You got a new guitarist and a drummer during that.
Yeah, true. We did.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, our guitarist and drummer weren't there for that, but they were around that time.
Okay.
So they knew what we were up to, and that's kind of what brought them on. They listened to it, and they said, well, I guess we can hear some potential.
Yeah.
So they very graciously accepted to join the band.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely did need them.
Yeah.
It's good. And we're better off for it too.
Just bring the mic in a little bit closer for you. And so, how was it working with David Tait? Like somebody that has had such, like, especially in the New Zealand scene, such huge success over the years and things with Nesian Mystic. How was it working with somebody with that sort of breadth of knowledge and experience?
It was pretty cool, eh?
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, it was. I was already friends with David. I'd already done some work with him, so we did some audiobooks. So I did some voiceovers.
Yep.
So I already knew him, and I actually already knew somebody else that was working at the studio. So I kind of knew those guys, and I remember talking to somebody at a party, and I said, I'm with my band, and we need to record our stuff. She says, you know, David's recording his music at that studio. And I said, no. And he says, we really want people to come on in. So we were actually one of the first people to go into the studio, at this studio that David was running, because he was trying to work out the studio. And all,
trying to figure out the
figure it out. So
Yep.
we were kind of the first in, basically. And then we just stuck with him ever since. So, but David's incredible.
Yeah.
We play a song, and he goes, that's great. Why don't you do it this way?
Yeah.
He thinks of the little things that you
Yeah.
don't think about that would make a difference.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's something little, but it makes a huge difference. He goes, well, why don't you sing it like this? Or why don't you play the guitar like this? Or just change a little bass note or something. And it just makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
He's extremely talented.
Like a bit of a wizard.
He is a wizard. He is a wizard. I actually call him the legend.
Yeah.
Actually, I call him the
Yeah.
legend because he
Yeah.
is. You know. So he's been very helpful to us. We owe the last 2 EPs to Dave because he's that's been him.
Yeah, nice.
Take my hand, we go once again. Let us go play pretend. In your eyes I can see, and it's all mystery.
Yeah, because with the so you recorded live drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Which isn't as common nowadays.
Yeah, that's usually all
Programmed
computer programming,
and-
but
yeah,
I
which has
prefer it
its-
that way.
Yeah,
It sounds better. It sounds raw. It doesn't have like that kind of electronic sound to it.
Mm.
Even though I know that they're recordings of drums and stuff, but they still have like that computerized.
yeah. Or every
sound to
hit's
them.
different.
Yeah.
And that can translate. You don't want necessarily to be
Different
too
accents.
different,
Yeah.
but every hit is its own. Yeah. Whereas programmed drums is a bit of sort of repetition that comes in
Well, actually,
off that.
that was suggested to us on the EP that's coming out in February. That was one of the tracks was, maybe we should just do the electronic drums for this song. And I don't know what it was, but I don't like the idea of that,
Yeah.
I wanted to start a band and I wanted to create live sound and record it and capture it. I just for me I couldn't do it for some reason, I don't know why.
I don't want to sound different than what we will live. 'Cause that's what
Yeah.
it will sound. It will
Yeah.
sound very different.
Yeah. Because one of the things that comes from that is, I know it takes a little bit of the person out of it, as far as the flow and that kind of thing. And with your guys' sound, it is quite like a raw, real kind of sound. And it's almost too easy to get, like what would be considered a perfection from like 30 years ago, say. Like, it's really easy to get a really, really good, clean recording nowadays.
Yeah.
And then, so a lot of the times the perfection's kind of in the imperfections. So it's a lot of those different subtleties is what makes a piece of music its own, as opposed to sounding like X, Y, and Z other band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I'm never happy with any of our music. It's just me. I just don't like anything I do. I just don't like it. I'm never happy, But, I say that. I'm not happy when I make it.
Yeah.
But it's usually about a few months down the road, maybe half a year or something. I did that with all our LPs, and I listen back to it and I go, actually, that's not too bad, actually.
Yeah.
I've been pretty tough on myself, and I think it takes a bit of time because I am a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I like everything to be perfect. Not perfect, but I like everything. I have something in my head, and it's supposed to sound like that. And when it doesn't exactly hit there, I go, oh, did I fail at that? Was it
Yeah.
not that good? And but once some time goes by, I go, it's a piece of art, and
Yeah.
that it's solid, I think I'm really proud of all of us coming together and coming and making that sound as well. I think it just takes some
We
time
got some
for
good
me.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing
I
all
mean,
right. We're
that's,
doing all right.
that's part of the journey of finding your sound as a band is you've got this idea of what you kind of want it to be or feel or sound like in your head. Then figuring that out to translate onto the tracks is just that journey.
Yeah.
It's understanding how you all play and fit together makes that end result kind of feel. And then your image of what it sort of should be sounding like ebbs and flows as you get more time all together in the same room just making noise.
Yeah, well, with lots of compromises. Everyone compromises, because we're a collective, You can't one person have it their way, So I'm sure everybody in the band has their own vision of what Black Jacket's going to be.
Yeah.
But we're pretty good at compromising, and we work well together, and we always collectively make the decision what's the best choice. So
Yeah.
I think if we stick together and keep that up, I don't think we'll ever have any problems.
Yeah.
Not agreeing or getting past something.
Yeah, because you guys have got a bit of like an old school kind of aesthetic, in terms of the tone of the music, style of the music to an extent, and also visually, say looking at the music videos and things like that. Is that sort of like conscious decision that you're kind of wanting to have a bit of that, like, I don't know, just sort of like age element to it?
I listen to vinyl.
Yeah.
I listen to vinyl. I'm classic music. I listen to vinyl. I listen to The Doors. I listen to Pink Floyd, The Who. Elton John,
Everything
Billy Joel.
that was music.
Anything.
You know?
Yeah, the old stuff when they made it on tape. I'd love to do something on tape, but it just seems so difficult. I love how easy it is now.
Yeah.
It's so accessible to make music. It's fantastic. But I think yes. I think what we discussed early on is that we wanted to bring the old into the new. There's so much new music coming out, and it kind of scares me also how fast it's going and how different it is. So I thought our project is that we could bring old music and make it a bit more relevant, especially with the effects and the technology. So it's kind of like taking we write the songs like we're back there, but then we record them like we're in the current time.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Does that sound right to
that
you?
sounds about right.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I was thinking about it a bit there.
And that fits with the idea of keeping the instruments real.
Yeah.
So that element is staying like sort of working as if it's in that kind of way, but then taking, say, the modern of recording the elements or recording, say, like a DI bass or things like that. So you can kind of move with a little bit more.
Yeah, we got flexibility, obviously, because we want to make the best sound possible. So so sometimes like if we've mucked up drums and we don't have time to go back, we will fill in like a kick or something like that. The recording wasn't very good of it, so of course we use it. If
we have to.
If it's gonna mess with the sound at the end result, then of course we have to.
Yeah, you don't want to compromise.
Absolutely not.
A good product by kind of leaning too hard on that kind of idea.
Yeah, exactly. It's we're not going to die on that hill, especially when we have all this technology around us to use. It'd be silly not to use some of it to make it better. But overall, we do like the old, and we like some of the new. So let's bring them together.
Yeah, because did you do much else with Crescendo? So working with David.
Yep.
Did you do much else through Crescendo and stuff as well, or was it just sort of using the studio and working with David?
So like I said, I'd already done some work with Dave, so I was doing audio books, so I'd been in there quite a few times. I don't know if you've ever done an audio book, but it's not easy.
No.
So I had to go back lots of times. So I was already going in there.
What book was that, or what books?
It was a Barry Crump Pooha Road, and I think Barry Crump's Golden Greenstone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Available on Audible or available...
oh my God, they're going to kill me for not knowing this. I think it's audiobooks. I think it's audiobooks. Audible. Oh my God, I'm in big trouble now.
It's your grandfather's. You're allowed. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how I got that job. So
and
that's how I met Dave. So we go in. So we kind of support each other. So Dave come to our gig and he came and saw us. And then when Crescendo's doing an event, we go there and support them.
Yeah.
So because we love what we're doing there.
Yeah, they're doing some awesome stuff.
That's right. So it's all for working with youths, from
Yeah.
like 16 to 24, getting them into music, showing them how to write songs. And that was perfect because we're about that age too.
Yeah.
But we came in on the commercial side of it, obviously. But Dave already had that experience teaching that. And we needed that teaching and that nurturing along. And Dave did it so...
It's fun having that mentor early on can be super helpful just to make sure you kind of make the right steps industry-wise going forward, because you don't necessarily want to step on the wrong toes, because some of those doors can close pretty quick, which is just part of the politics
careful
of the industry, but having somebody that kind of knows how it works can be like sort of really helpful in not doing that.
Well, like when we first went in the studio, like Dave gave us some advice about that. We went in the studio and Dave said, and I was telling him like, we're going to be big rock stars, we're going to take over the world, we're going to get signed to a label. And he goes, it's calm down, it's pretty hard, and it's a big grind. But when I went into the studio last time, he went, oh, well, you guys are pretty good, actually, and, maybe I could have a word, and then I can send you in the right direction. So I think his opinion of us slowly changed the more we went back in the studio. Because I know he likes the songs. He's really happy with them. He's doing some great mixing, too.
Yeah.
So I think he's seeing our development as well, and getting, when he has a little more faith in us, we're finding a little more faith in ourselves, too, you know? So we're feeling a little more confident, Having
someone with that profile saying, yo, these are good.
Yeah, absolutely. But he would say that because he's mixing them. So he's like, I did a really good job.
And that's one of the things as well. Like, take it for a grain of salt when you're in the studio environment, because they're not going to say it sounds like trash, because then that's going to weigh on your mind when you're going for the next take. So there's a little bit of like the psychology of that. But you know, a lot of people, like, they're not necessarily going to say, fuck yeah, I love that, if they don't actually, like, really like it.
Yeah.
Especially when they have his status, like,
Yeah.
you know, he's not
Yeah,
really gonna.
yeah.
She's got a
sugarcoat
reputation
things if he has
to-
to.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm good at reading Dave now. I've seen him enough time, you know. I can go. Yeah, you like that, don't you? You know, I say, what
Yeah.
about that? But I did. I go, yeah, it's good. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, he hates it. Let's change that.
How about we one more?
Yeah. It's like, one more time. And then
Yeah.
you do it, and he goes, one more time.
Yeah.
one more time, and you go, yeah, okay, I'm not
It's like,
getting
this time, can it be in key?
Yeah. I said, how's your auto tune there? No, no, we don't use auto tune.
Yeah.
Okay. I want that
Well,
on-
good luck trying to tune your vocal anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
thanks. Yeah,
like
yeah.
you've got to, because for the style of vocal that you're kind of putting forward for a lot of what it is, not the entire songs, but you know, any tuning software does struggle with more rock grit kind of
Yeah.
vocal, so you've got to kind of get it at the time and not rely on these extra tools to help you out.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't use Dave when I do the vocals. He's
Okay.
got a guy working there called Reese, and we go through it together. So once all the music's there, we go through the music and we have a listen, and then we kind of sort out the lines, see if any lyrics need changing.
Yeah.
And then we'll go over that and keep repeating it until something sticks.
Yeah.
And so I work with Reese there, and he's very good at what he does. So so Dave's with the rest of it, but when it comes to the vocal sides, Dave mixes the vocals, but Reese and I, we go through.
Like Reese kind of tracks them and
Absolutely.
kind of helps to produce
He
produce them.
guides me along. He's my guy for when I'm
Yep.
doing my bit.
Yeah.
So no, it's worked really well.
Yeah. When you're ready.
I don't care, I don't mind.
guys approaching this next E EP?
Well, with half is with we're recording with Dave, and the other half we're going to record ourselves.
Yeah?
We think we've learned enough.
Learning
Our
curve.
guitarist Neo is going to be doing
Yes.
most of the mixing for
Yes.
us.
Nice, nice.
He's pretty good. He's got his own band as well,
Yeah.
Back to the Hillside.
Cool.
I said that right, didn't I? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plug,
Just checking.
plug.
Yeah. You can see them live. No. So he's pretty good at mixing. We've heard his stuff, and like I said, we've learned a lot. So, and we've got all the recording gear. So I think it'll be even more freedom as well. So we want to see, how does it sound when we do it ourselves? Let's
Yeah.
give things a go. Because since we're so early on, we got to keep experimenting.
Yeah.
We got to see what works and what's going to stick. Same with our songwriting.
Yep.
Got to keep writing different songs, see what works. We haven't found it yet, but I think it takes a little time, and we got to repeat the process until it does.
Yeah.
But we are going to keep repeating the process.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop. We're very determined.
Yeah. Because how often are you guys sort of practicing and working on songs at the moment?
2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
As well as whatever you're doing in your own time as well.
Yeah. So so that's hard, It's hard for everyone to meet up, but 2 or 3 times a week. But so maybe it's like a couple times. But we when we go there, we're there to work, and we keep repeating. And it's usually something like, okay, we got a gig coming up. All right, we just practice that set list, and we just repeat.
Over and over.
I'm actually quite a stickler. Sometimes they're like, oh, can we have a break? I'm like, okay, I guess you get a break.
But we do the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
leave it for a day so that we don't repeat it too much.
Exactly.
That
We still try and make it enjoyable, but so if we're gig, repeat. If we're going into the studio, we just work on that, repeat, basically repeat. And
Get the reps in.
yeah, and it's actually, it's hard for the guys because I get them to repeat so much that they really look forward to when we don't have something coming up and we go, oh, so we get to write some stuff now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun, Because I think that is one of the funnest parts is writing the songs.
Especially when
Yeah.
we're all in the room together and we just jam randomly and
Somebody
it comes together.
Yeah, we have a jam randomly, or somebody will just have a riff, something like that, and we just build on it.
Yeah.
And you go, oh well, that's a song.
Yeah.
That's great.
Is there like a primary writer amongst you, as far as someone that comes with majority of ideas that then, or even like a skeleton that then the whole band takes, or is it just all pretty collaborative?
It's pretty collaborative. I do the lyrics and vocals. I take care of that part, but otherwise I think we all come on in. I mean, Gio might do a little less of the writing, but she comes in and just drives it all. She's right there. She's right there when we're writing it, so she knows, okay, this is what the song needs.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get her doing some singing or something like that, eh? Write some...
I don't know how Jake would feel about like from a live sound point of view with a drummer with a vocal mic.
Oh, yeah, true.
I'm happy to not sing. I'm happy to be in the back where I belong.
Hey, it works though, people do it. So
Yeah. Just got to lean into the bleed.
It was
No, it's
supposed to
good.
sound like that.
Yeah, it's good having the different voices coming through as well.
Well, I was the only one singing for so long, and then Neo came in the band, and he was like, I was like, oh, you can sing, because everyone refused. Everyone refuses to sing.
Yeah.
I was the only one there, and I was like, some BVs would be nice. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe you can do some BVs for this song, just for the recording. No. I'm like, oh, okay. So Neo came in, and the truth is, he's a much better singer than me. He's very good. He's a very good. That's okay. I'm not ashamed. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not the greatest singer, but I put a lot of passion into it.
Yeah.
And I'm working to get better. And it does work. I can make a good sound, but I'm not a good singer. He's a good singer, and so he's right there. He can really help lift a song with his
Yeah.
BVs. But it took a while until we got BVs.
Yeah.
We only just got it on the last EP because I think that's when he joined. Was just before we did that EP.
Okay.
So it was nice to. I think we made the songs and then. We were like, oh, some BVs would be nice. Oh, Neo can do them. So he was very talented. When he joined the band, we were going in the studio the next week to record a song. And
So you had a week to learn the song?
yeah, this guy's learned a whole set in like a day, like a 10-song set and gone up on stage. He's incredible.
Like an actual musician?
Like yes, he's an actual
real
musician.
musician.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know how many real musicians we have in the band, but he's definitely one of them. And 1 week, 2 practices. He came in. Oh, he just shredded it.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. You just heard it, and then he had the BVs on there, and I'm like, wow, it would have been a completely different song if he hadn't have shown up. And then we were like, well, you're not allowed to go anywhere now. You realise that. So
Put the handcuff on.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we keep a close eye on him. Yeah,
We need to make him sign a Tron contract.
yeah, exactly.
To lock him in.
Because with the again with that writing process, from a lyrical point of view, like where do you dive into content wise? You know.
So I wish that I could say that I spent a lot of time and I put a lot of thought into it, and I really work it out and I work on each line and I try and make it mean something. But that's a lie. I don't do that. Sometimes I do. I write the lyrics before I have any music, let's say, and it always just feels like I'm trying too hard. I just don't think they're my best lyrics. So what usually happens is that when we write the music, and I hear it and I go, okay, I can hear what that needs. I usually ad-lib when I first do it. And sometimes I find some really good things, and we'll just jam it. We'll just repeat the sound. And I'll just go, that sounds good, and maybe I'll go over here and see what happens. And then we go, well, that sounded pretty good. And then usually I come up with the lines pretty quickly, you know? And what I find is afterwards I'll look at it and I'll go, oh, well, all those lines and words, they seem to come up with something. So now they kind of make sense. And I go, oh, that is telling a story. I just didn't realize it was.
At the time.
I think lyrics, it's great to have, in the future, I definitely want to try and work more on my lyrics and try and say something. But I think it's also, lyrics are interpretation. It mean whatever it means to you. So I kind of leave it to the people listening. It's like, what does it mean to you? I never say, oh, this song means this or this song means that, because I don't want to put that on anybody.
Yeah, you don't want to sort of have people kind of be, I don't know, just sort of not able to put their own interpretation to it.
If its song sounds like it's about, I don't know, dancing carrots in a field, sure, let it dancing carrots in a field, fantastic.
Where does your mind go to come
I
up
have
with
no
that?
idea. I was really struggling to find what's a good. No.
It sounds like you've been hanging out with your children too long.
All right, so is one of the next songs on the next EP called "Dancing Carrots in a Field"?
Actually, we went with cucumbers on the beach.
Oh, risky.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But we really want to try and get some attention on this next EP. So
We're going for all ages.
Yeah. Going for that Wiggles market.
Exactly.
Cocomelon, watch out.
Oh, yeah. I think there's good money. Maybe we should actually think about what we're going to do in the future, you know? I watch the Wiggles every day, you know that? Kids at home, you know?
This is 18 plus.
When they're not at home too.
You don't need to lie. You know, you can.
I will never lie. I love the Wiggles. They have great music. They're solid stuff. Great dancing. Oh, yeah.
Saturday afternoon, he cracks a cold one, sits down.
That's right. Watch the Wiggles.
Yeah.
It's great. I grew up with the Wiggles. I think it's great.
Yeah. With the current, climate from a promotion kind of point of view, what do you guys kind of approach socially? You know, like how you... are you sort of looking at like a content creation idea, or like sort of what's your kind of scope in terms of like developing a social presence and that kind of thing? Because in like talking about the old and the new, that's the new in terms of getting out there and doing it. So yeah, any sort of scope in that regard?
Well, you're in charge of social, aren't you?
It's actually quite challenging.
Yeah.
Especially when we do things, but it's just, what is it? We don't.
Well, don't look at me. You're social.
We don't document it properly, so we don't have many things to post. But what we do have is, it's just a bit of.
I don't even have Facebook. I don't, so it was a bit tough, and it took me a year and a half into the band before Georgia joined to realize, you actually have to do this. It's the only way. It's not the only way, but it's pretty much the only way to be seen. So it took
2022. Everything's on social media now.
Exactly.
I didn't have a Facebook, an Instagram, or nothing. So I had to get that stuff and start up again. So I'm a bit of a dinosaur. But we kept pushing it, and it's been slow. So we had the goal of 300 followers on Instagram for the end of the year. I think we're around 250 maybe. So
Almost.
So we'll try and get the last 50. So we're setting goals. Goals, and we're trying to make them, and but it is tough. It's because there's only so much content, so we're trying to make it interesting. So we keep thinking about gimmicks, like maybe we'll do a Black Jacket drum and bass song. People like drum and bass. We can get their attention with it, and then we can go off and go back to our usual stuff, or so like gimmicks or something like that. Should we dress up like something? I mean, like
it's so hard in New Zealand for stop with music to try and get yourself
out there,
especially in Auckland. It seems like there's a lot of places and a lot of attention that you would get, but there's so much happening. There's
That's
so many
the thing.
bands
There's so
trying
much
at the same time.
Yeah, there's so much noise in a small, relatively small pond when you think of it. Trying to get that voice to poke through from that regard, and then if you're thinking, career perspective, to think more international, it's a small pond in the corner to the big ocean of noise that's out there as well. Like that's what's super challenging about the New Zealand market. Not saying it's impossible, but the New Zealand market's really, really challenging.
It has its up and down though, because since we're smaller, sometimes it can be easier to get a little notice. Either let's say you're in America or the UK, which has a big music scene. So I don't know. Is it luck? Like what do we got to do? I
mean, once those other bands and Auckland bands, the smaller ones, find out about us, then we just kind of invite each other.
Yeah,
kind of.
You create a community.
Yeah, we are. We're all trying to build each other up. So we put on some gigs and we heard some good people, and we were like, well, come play with us, And the same people are doing that with us. So we're building it up. Yeah, we are. And I think the more times we do it, more times we go play out live, more times we release something.
Just got to keep at it.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to keep at it, and something is going to work because we won't let it fail.
Yeah.
If you see that hill that you're willing to die, well, you made a fool of me, 'cause I'm talking to myself. Talking to myself. When you're dancing in the clouds, does it still rain down on you? And when you flew and left me on the ground, did you think of me at all? Or am I talking to myself? Talking to what you doing now? You're acting like a stranger, messing me around. Hey, baby, tell me the truth. Did you ever really listen? 'Cause I'm talking to myself. Talking to myself. My baby.
the way I kind of view it is like the song, especially for a band, the songs are the advertisement. You're not necessarily going to make your money back on the songs. Songs are the advertisement.
Yeah.
The live show is the product.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Even for the big artists, they're making their money touring.
Yeah. And so it's understanding that balance can help to sort of direct from a, like a social point of view. And then you can do like segments of the song as extra content. Content doesn't just have to be another song. Having promo shoots, like regular promo shoots, so your image keeps getting out there in different ways. Creating a relationship with the various photographers that are in the scene. There's a whole lot of awesome New Zealand music photographers. And so creating a relationship with that, and the whole industry is all relationships.
Absolutely.
Like the way you sort of got in here through Danny, through Jake, that's a relationship that helps to foster connections.
That's right. But we have to be proactive to get that relationship,
Exactly.
So you couldn't, so we found Danny. She's been amazing. And so that's been really helpful. But we had to put ourselves out there, and we had to go hunting, We didn't just run into Danny on the street. So you have to make those connections happen. You can't just wait for them to come to you, basically.
Quite a lot goes
Which we
into
see
it.
a lot of people doing, actually. They're waiting for somebody to see them, or it's like, well, you got to jump up in front of them and wave your arms around, and that's when you're seen.
I'd especially like with a name like Black Jacket, that when you do search it online, it can be quite difficult to find.
You know what? That's true. I have,
and so that's something that I thought of when I was like, researching you guys and things like that. I had to put
Black Jacket New Zealand.
And then it might be the third one down, or things like that, or on YouTube when I'm trying to find the videos. If I don't put in the exact song title, I have to go through pages to find it. So that's just something to be aware of for the idea of trying to really push through. I love the name, but understanding that there's a lot of bands out there with that name. So either making it slightly different, so when people do spell it, it's a specific way of spelling it. Maybe like remove one of the A's for an X.
Yeah,
or
we
like
were
that,
thinking
stuff
something
like that.
That's actually a good idea.
And then that can, at least when it comes to, search engine optimization and all that sort of jazz.
Well, no, you could do like JACK -IT or something,
Yeah, there's different ways.
Is that appropriate? Is that appropriate? No, it doesn't have to mean that. That's wrong.
That's what everyone will think.
Maybe I shouldn't be in charge of picking a new name.
But so this is more just like a like a sidebar. Jake just lost himself in the corner. So just more of like a thing to consider for really wanting to push it. You want it to be easy for people to find you. If you start to add more barriers
to people,
put that. If you start to add more barriers to people trying to find you, they're just gonna not. It's got to be easy, especially for a modern audience. If they're having to put in that extra effort to hunt. Not everyone's researching for an interview where they're sort of like gonna spend 5 minutes or whatever to try and find it. Someone's just like scrolling or just puts in maybe slightly misspelled, and then they want it to come up. So it's just something to consider. I guess.
No, it's good. That's good. Yeah. We had thought about it, but when we came up with the name, we probably didn't even have any social media, and it took a long time for us to come up with that name. We kept throwing names.
Names are so hard.
Oh no, I don't like this one. I think that one's pretty good. No, it sucks. And then so it took a while, and then I just said, Black Jacket. Everyone went, oh well, that doesn't suck. So and I went,
it'll do.
Cool, that's the name. We did it. I was happy it was over with.
Chosen by ruling out other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What other ones were you throwing around?
Oh God, it went on for months. It went on for like 3 months. Every time I finished.
Cucumber banana beach.
Cucumber bananas. No more cucumber bananas. No. The Wiggles were already taken, so we couldn't use that.
The Waggles.
The Waggles.
There we go.
I don't know. Is that copyright? Like, what's going to happen
How
there?
How close
right?
is that? 30% different?
Yeah, exactly.
Should be right.
So it's something that we probably should discuss, actually. So we might look into that.
Yeah. And with, you've got one EP out, because I've seen bands approach it from... they release an EP under X name, and then the second EP, they change the name, but they they potentially change the name, and then that previous EP, they just rename it to whatever the band was called at that time, and that's sort of a way to keep it you and keep it yours, but just kind of more that sort of snapshot of that time, and then moving forward. Was it
Motley Crue? They changed the from Crew, it was CREW to the U with the dots thing. And the E. So they changed that. And I think some other bands have done it too, haven't they? You had Jefferson Starship. They've changed their name a few times actually. I'm pretty sure that's the right band. So
it's easier to do before you get too far into it as well.
It's like Blind Spot. They used to be Blacklist, didn't they? Blind Spot.
It was Blind Spot, then Blacklist, then Blind Spot again.
Oh, they went back, eh?
Yeah. There was legal things.
Ah, right.
Yeah. I still love a lot of those Blacklist songs, but getting back into Blind Spot again, they've just been resting on all the previous stuff.
Yeah.
But then obviously they're coming out with new stuff now.
They're a beautiful band.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, her favorite. Yeah. So Blind Spot hangs around with. So we've been in the studio at Crescendo, and Blind Spot been in there
with
recording.
Marcus and
Marcus, because Marcus is a friend because he started Crescendo, obviously. So we see Marcus around. I think he's taken a step back, or he's going for a more. I don't know what he's doing.
He's taking a leave of absence. From
Not a leave
band.
of absence. I think he's just taking a little step back, and it's going to take. Just keep an eye on it.
Okay, right.
Because that was I think Marcus did start Crescendo.
Yeah.
So it's been cool to see him, and he's been helpful as well.
Yeah.
So
again, he's one of those ones that's a wealth of knowledge too.
It's nice to have them around.
I've worked with him through like City of Souls and stuff when he was with them, which is awesome because he's such a professional, and just the energy that he puts on stage. So if you're wanting to look at somebody for like a live kind of persona, he's massive.
Oh, yeah.
Like the energy that he puts out is just retarded.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's so kind. He listened to our song when we were in the studio, and he really liked it. And he says, "Oh, well, you mind if I send it off to some of my friends?" And I said, "Hell yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Go take it. Yeah, go send it off right now."
Yeah.
So I think he sent it off to a few people, and we got some feedback back, and it was just really helpful, really kind. And he saw it and he listened to it. He says, "That's cool. Let me help."
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of people helping, a lot of guiding, and it's been fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is taking that on board. Not kind of being like, nah, this is how we do it. Like, we don't, like,
Especially
thank you for your feedback,
it.
but I'm still gonna stick to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, understand that their ears have like heard a lot of music, and they kind of been around the industry long enough to know what kind of works. You want to stay true to yourself, but also taking on that feedback.
The balance, finding the right balance is difficult,
Yeah, where it keeps it as you. But
I think it'll always be us, because we're all open for criticism, and taking that on, because it's only going to better us. I mean, like, we're still young, and we've got heaps of time to develop and make this work.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do anyway.
Yeah. And just keep those wheels turning, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one thing after it's usually got something in front of you. You got to get that done. You get that done. Something else and something else. That's keeping the wheels turning. It's just continuing to move forward.
Yep.
If you want to see it go somewhere, you have to put in the work. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys are the only ones that can do that.
Absolutely. And luckily we've got such, all four of us, we get along really well.
Cool.
So
that makes it easier.
It makes it much easier. Yeah. You can have friction in bands very easily, especially because you spend so much time around each other. But we're all we all want the same thing. So it makes things so much easier.
One of the things is they say, so like, you don't really get to know your band until you start to play out of your hometown, because when you're on the road and staying in crappy accommodation, you like, people get a little bit more stressed and a little bit more sort of titchy, and you start to identify people's little nuances a bit more, and that's what really gels a band, is those shared experiences that are outside of just the music, because you can be practicing, writing, playing, but then maybe if you're not necessarily hanging out as much outside of a music capacity, then you're not necessarily feeling that person as much. And so when you are out playing shows out of town, that's when you really start to get to know everybody.
I think that's right, because we went down to what's the gorge called? Karangahiki Gorge.
Yeah.
Karangahiki Gorge. Yeah, we filmed our last music video there.
Yeah.
If I got that right. That's great. So we all went down, road trip down there together, and pretty stressful day actually, filming the music video down there. So we felt that, but it was pretty stressful, and we had lots of things happen that were out of our control, and it was a whole day of just full-on action. But we all handled it really well, and it was enjoyable. So we were
able to laugh at some of the difficulties.
Absolutely. So what you're talking about, we've had a little taste of it, and we've passed the first test. Then,
Yeah. Not too much hair pulled out.
Yeah, but we're looking forward to getting out of Auckland and playing some more gigs elsewhere. So we might head down to Hamilton first, and and
then start to spread from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hamilton's good at spreading things. I've heard.
Are you allowed to say that? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Jake's from there.
Yeah, exactly.
He just gave me a really big thumbs up, so it's okay. I'm clear.
And our publicist Danny, who got us here, she's from Hamilton too. You're causing a bit of trouble.
A little bit of drama.
Yeah.
What's 2023 looking like for you guys? So obviously, new EP. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. What else are you guys kind of wanting to do, or what's kind of planned in the works?
Well, we've got a good start with the EP coming out, and obviously this will probably be released sometime around the same time the EP comes out, and we're going to have some gigs.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We're going to have some gigs on as well for about February, March sort of time, because we're going to have all that at once. So we have a really good start to the year to get the ball rolling.
Cool.
Obviously, we're going to be recording more.
Yeah.
We'd love to do an album. It takes a bit more time, but it's the next step from going from EP. Like, we've been really struggling to get people to review our EP because there's not a lot of people reviewing out there, and they're all too busy reviewing albums. So we kind of need to, we can't rush, but we also want to keep taking the next step. So we're not slowing down at all. So maybe an album. That's what we're kind of thinking. It might take a bit more time, but continue playing live, building up our social media. Our goal for the end of the year is 300. So the next year will be like 1,000. We want 1,000 followers. That's on you too. Yeah, you're in charge of it. Yeah,
do you know how many followers Blindspot has on their Instagram?
Well,
5,000 compared to how many visit. Leave me be.
Yeah, but we're Black Jacket. We're Black Jacket.
The Black Jacket. Black Jacket. The only Black Jacket.
Yeah, exactly. There's only one Black Jacket. Google it. There's only one of us.
No, I'm definitely excited to catch you guys live sometime. We'll be in the new year, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely keep eyes out, and obviously we'll still stay in touch and everything like that. But it's been really cool having you guys in. I really enjoyed the songs. You guys played super tight. Like, it was pretty much all of them were one take. I
think it was.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah. Especially for a newer band, younger band, you can tell that you're rehearsed.
We rehearse a lot, a lot,
which is really refreshing from our perspective.
We're taking ourselves seriously, and we're not here to waste anybody's time while we go through this process.
We want to look like we know.
We want to look like we know what we're doing. Obviously, it doesn't sound like we know what we're doing, but we're going to look like we know what we're doing. Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah. But I'd just like to thank you guys for coming on. It's been a really cool day.
Yes, thank you.
It's been an awesome day.
Great experience.
That was a mean chat.
It's been good. It's been fun.
Sweet. And thank you for watching. Check out other episodes. Share it around. It does help us out a lot. We're amongst the whole New Zealand scene. Everybody's trying to grow. Mm-hmm. Everybody's trying to, just start to create more noise around New Zealand music to make this much more viable for all those people involved. So once again, thank you. And thanks for watching. Beautiful.